Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me today. This is my last day of treat holders for Valentine's Day. And today I have a cute little pizza box that holds, doesn't want to open, these candy hearts. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make your pizza box quick and easy. All right. So let's start with our treat holder first. All right. You need to do your box. Now, if you have a box holder, that's fine. I don't. So I figured out how to do this. And this came from another demo. She explained it. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I knew I wanted my box to be 3 by 3. Now this is off, so don't pay any attention to it. So I knew I started with a rectangle. And I knew I wanted 1-inch sides. So I drew a line and a line and a line and a line. And those are all 1 inch. So I put 1 inch inside all of them. All right. That I knew I needed 3 inches here, 3 inches here. But I also needed a 1 inch here because that forms the back of your box. Now I'll tell you, the first time I did this, I didn't put that in there. And your box won't close. It's a mess. It's like, oh my goodness. So make sure you do that. So then I had 1 inch here, 3 inches here, 1 inch here, 3 inches here, and 1 inch here. So I had 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 9 inches. So I knew I needed my piece 9 inches long. Then I knew I had 1 inch here, 3 inches here, and 1 inch here. So 1 plus 3 plus 1 equals 5. So my piece had to be 5 by 9. To do my scoring, I knew I needed to score it on 1 inch all the way around. And then I knew I needed to score it here. So it's 1 plus 3, which is 4, added another inch is 5. So that's how I figured out how to do it. And this is my piece. So there's my 5 by 9. I scored it at 1 inch. I'm going to go through these again all the way around. Then I put it in and I scored this at 4 inches, shifted over and scored it at 5. All right. The next thing you need to do is you need to do your cutting. So you're going to cut up each of these lines on both sides. So I'm going to pull in my scissors here. And I will tell you, I'm going to cut on this side because I can see the hump on the line. And I'm going to cut just inside that line so that I get a nice edge. And I'm going to wedge that tab because that's basically what it is. All right, again, this one would be outside that line. So you're keeping that line away, on the outside of your scissors when you cut. You don't want that scored line. You don't want to see that scored line on your scissors. All right, you want it clean and flat when you cut up. And then make sure you wedge each of your pieces. All right, now this one I need to see the scored line because this flap is the one you want to be, well, daggone, I can't get my finger on it. These flaps are the ones you want to be perfectly straight and flat. And I kind of missed it on this one. I'm going to go back and take just a little bit out. You're going to do the same thing on this side. All right, cut up to the scored line, wedge that tab. All right, cut up to the scored line, wedge your tab. Same thing here. Cut up to the scored line, wedge that tab. Remember to keep these ones with no scored lines on it. So this one got to be on the other side. of the score line so that it doesn't show up on this. Basically, you're cutting away most of that scored line. Okay, that's it. Now we're ready to do some burnishing. So fold on all your score lines. And if you want to do this first before you cut, you find it easier, that's fine. Might make it easier to see. Okay. Now we're going to fold the side pieces on those score lines. And I'm going to work my way down. And I'm going to go over here and do the same thing here. All right. You can make the pizza box any size you want. Just change your adjustments. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to form the bottom of our box. So we're going to take and glue the two of these together. So I'm going to put some glue here. There we go. I was going to say, I think I'm going to put glue there and there. I store that upside down, but it's still... And make sure you match up your edges so that you get a box with straight sides. And then hold it a bit for the glue to grab. Doesn't take it long. Next we're going to take and we're going to do the back flaps. So add some glue there to both of them. All right. And again, pull your piece up, and I just kind of bend that one back so I can see what I'm doing. Match up your edges. Hold it for a few seconds before you go to the other side. And then do the same thing here. So you get a nice edge. And hold them a few seconds. Look at this, our box is almost done. Now we're going to do the same thing with these flaps. I think I'm running out of glue. All right. Match, oops, that one didn't go up high enough. See how it didn't fold? All right, there. If that happens, just cut it a little bit more. All right, match up your edges. Give yourself a nice box. Okay. All right, to make your box easy to open and close, take a small circle punch. I'm using the 1/2 inch. I know it's retired, but I still use it. And you want to punch out about 2/3 in the middle of that front. And there's your box. Now it's time to decorate. I pulled in some of the True Love Designer Series paper, and I'm going to punch it out. Oops, I punched the wrong one. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Were you guys yelling at me saying, no, no, no? Okay, so I'll just pull in another piece. You want to punch the scallop one out of there. All right. Then I used I'm looking for my paper. I stamped that dotted heart on there. All right, I can't find the stamp set. It's somewhere. I've stuck it somewhere, but it's the Well Said stamp set, and it has Happy Valentine's Day in there, and I'm using all 3 pieces, and I put them on the block. I started at the top with Happy, and I did trim the bottoms and tops of some of these so that they would fit better. And I'm going to take, and this is another one, if you can't get it in the center and you're worried it won't line up, stamp the Happy Valentine's Day first, like so. All right, I have no clue where that stamp set is. Now I need my solid heart. I've looked everywhere. I'll find it. It'll show up when I'm finished doing the video. All right, so I punched out my heart. And I'm going to take and add some glue to the back of it and glue it to my striped scallop heart, like so. All right. And then we're going to do the ribbon on this one like we did the ribbon on the other one. This one I cut. Since you know what to do, we did it earlier, I'll do it kind of quickly. If I can find the beginning of my tape. All right, I'm going to put pieces across as before. Another one here. And another one here. Oops, not yet. That tip was sticking out. Don't want that. And then one more on the bottom. All right. I'm going to remove my backs. If I can find, there it is. If I can find my pokey tool. Now, if you want to add some extra to this, you can easily stamp your box. You could use that heart and just before you put it together, stamp it all over with real red for a tone-on-tone look. All right, now I'm going to do this one the same way. Now I am using some basic black glitter ribbon that I had. I don't have any more of the organdy. I don't know if I think it's in my order coming, but I'm not positive. All right, so again, I'm just taking and looping, leaving lots of space. And this piece is longer than it needs to be, so I'll trim it. All right, I'm going to take and put a piece of tape across this so it holds that ribbon in place. You want to make sure you sandwich that ribbon in there and don't take your backs off. Now it's time to add our dimensionals. And again, avoid that ribbon. It's okay if you use, or that tape. It's okay if you use the ribbon, just overlap it with two pieces so it doesn't kind of flop. All right, and I'm going to put one more up here. That also helps hold that ribbon in place. And then one in the middle right about there. And it doesn't matter what the back looks like because it goes on like that. And nobody will see the back unless they rip it off. So I'm going to take the backs off of my dimensionals. And I'm going to add that to my pizza box in the center. And there it is. All right, let's get started with our card. All right. First thing we need to do is we need to take our piece of real red and we're going to use a tone-on-tone. So it's use the Versamark ink pad. And I need a scrap paper. And I'm going to take my, I'm just turning it sideways to fit on there. I'm going to take my Versamark pad, and this looks horrible, but it still works. And I'm going to stamp this. You want it subtle, and that's what the Versamark gives you. I may need to ink this up a little. So I'm going to, again, randomly stamp it all over. I know it's probably something you can't see. I can see where I've stamped. And as it dries, it gives you a watermark. Let's do that one that way. And I'm going to flip it around and put that there. And I'm just, like I said, looking at it and seeing where I need to add the pieces. And there we go. All right. So I've got all my pieces on there. Now, my suggestion is for you to take this to your heat tool and dry it. Okay, you can see it a little bit better now. The Versamark ink stays wet because it's used for embossing, so that's why you have to dry it. I'm going to add this to a piece of basic black that's just slightly larger than this piece. All measurements are on my blog, so you can see them there. If you like my ideas, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. I have a free gift. It's a box tutorial, and I share lots of ideas there. All right, there's a link for that in the information section below, where you can just click on it and it'll take you to the sign up form, and then you will start getting my ideas. This is going to go on, and again, I'm using the glue, and then I changed this one up a little bit on the card. I did not do this on the pizza box, but I wanted this one. Well, actually I did. They were supposed to be done with dimensionals, but that's okay. All right, taking your piece that you have punched out, add your sticky tape to the back. And as before, take your backs off. Make sure you burnish it real good so that the back pops up and not all the tape. Okay. All right. Take your piece of ribbon and we're going to add it just like we did before. Just looping it back and forth. There we go. All right, I'm going to take a piece of sticky tape, and this time I'm going to go across several areas, and the reason being is this is flat on my card. So I'm going to use my sticky tape to hold it in place. All right. I'm going to take my backing off. Like so. All right, and then this is going to go on my card, and I'm watching my spacing side to side, top to bottom. I'm going to stick that down, and then that piece is sticking out just slightly, so I'm going to take my pokey tool and curl it backwards. All right, my sentiment, I did the same way as the other one, stamp the outline and my words, and now I'm going to add this to my card base using dimensionals, and I'm going to put this on top. I wanted to kind of vary it, and I forgot to do it on my box. So I will probably, no, it's glue. I can't take it apart. Okay, well, it's going to stay flat. I don't think anybody will notice it. Kids won't. They'll be more interested in what's inside. All right, so I'm going to take my backs off. All right. I'm going to add this to the center like so. And I use that outline heart for the inside and the envelope. Well, that's it. A week's worth of ideas. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you will try some of them. I had fun doing them. I can't wait to do some more for the rest of the kids. If you want to make this project, make sure you click the link below and it will take you to my online store with all my supplies there, and you can click on the ones you need to order. Thanks for visiting me today. Have a great day.